Action research is a way for educators to systematically improve their practice. It's built on a simple but powerful cycle: plan, act, observe, reflect, and then repeat. Instead of waiting for outside experts to prescribe solutions, teachers themselves become researchers. They test new ideas, collect evidence, reflect on what works, and refine their practice. Over time, these cycles of inquiry build both better teaching and deeper professional growth. My first major experience with action research came in 2012 to 2013, when I experimented with the flipped classroom model. At that time, flipped learning was still new. Instead of lecturing in class, I recorded videos for students to watch at home, then used classroom time for problem solving and active learning. This was action research in its purest, practitioner-centered form. I planned the intervention, producing videos and designing active lessons. I acted by implementing the flipped model in my classes. I observed through student feedback, classroom dynamics, and performance. I reflected, adjusting my approach, improving the videos, and refining classroom activities. This cycle helped me grow as a teacher and showed me how powerful action research can be when it's directly tied to practice. If you'd like, you can check out one of those early flipped classroom videos here. Fast forward to today. I recently ran another small-scale action research project, comparing my human self with my AI avatar as a presenter. I made two versions of the same lesson, one with me teaching and one delivered by my AI avatar. Students watched both and then shared their feedback. This was another complete cycle: plan, test human versus AI delivery; act, create the two versions; observe, collect student responses through questionnaires and discussion; reflect, decide how I might balance human and AI elements in my teaching. My doctoral research project at the University of the West Indies pushed me right to the boundary between action research and formal academic research. The focus was on using student-made animations, SMAs, to improve Year 11 students' understanding of chemical equilibria. Unlike my earlier classroom projects, this study included a control group of 6 students and an experimental group of 11. The groups were random, but only because of school policy, not because I had the resources to design full-scale randomization myself. The project looked very much like a quasi-experiment. I used mixed methods to collect both quantitative and qualitative data, and I genuinely sought findings that could be generalized beyond my classroom. But at the same time, the reality of time limits and access to students meant the sample was small, and statistical robustness was limited. That's why I positioned the study as action research. It had the defining features. It was practitioner-led, emerging from my teaching context. It was cyclical and reflective, not a one-off trial. And although it aspired to universality, it was shaped by the constraints of real-world teaching. In many ways, this project shows how action research and academic research are not opposites, but overlapping traditions. My Ed.D. lived right at that boundary, rigorous in design, but still grounded in the realities of classroom practice. These 3 examples, the flipped classroom, the AI versus human video, and my doctoral study, show the spectrum of action research. At one end, it can be small, fast, teacher-driven, and low-cost. At the other, it can be elaborate, structured, and academically rigorous, even if limited by time and sample size. Both ends of the spectrum are valuable, both are legitimate, and both highlight the real strength of action research. It adapts to the realities of teaching. So here's the big lesson. Action research is by teachers, for teachers, and for students. If you're a classroom teacher, you can start tomorrow with a small cycle. If you're a school leader, you can use it to refine policies or school culture. And if you're a researcher, you can design action research that is rigorous while still staying grounded in practice. For me, action research has been a constant thread, from my flipped classroom in 2012 to my doctoral study to today's experiments with AI in teaching. It's a way of thinking and a way of growing. And that's why I believe action research is one of the most powerful tools educators have, because it turns every classroom into both a place of learning and a place of inquiry. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out the videos linked in the cards to see action research in action.